Yes, Prabhu.
The book is with Rakesh, huh?
With me. Plus, I have that PDF Gaurav Prabhu had sent.
No, PDF is fine. The actual book I am talking.
With me.
Okay. And you tell your mother that we started the Tamil class from today, weekly
Okay.
once. I will add her to that group. Maybe she can listen to that. She wanted Tamil class for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, we'll continue, Prabhu. You please read. Soon thereafter.
Soon thereafter, we received a telegram from Brahmananda that Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan had become very ill, so weak that he could not walk or stand. He had a 104-degree fever and was diagnosed with malaria. Prabhupada had said that his illness had been caused by the sinful activities of his disciples, many of whom were not strictly following the rules and regulations. So we began 24-hour Kirtan, and many people of the neighborhood joined. Some stayed until midnight. Others came before Mangalarati. Prabhupada's presence in Juhu had touched and transformed the hearts of many of the local residents. Our tenant, Mr. Menon, had become a Vaishnava and was wearing tilak. He would sit at the foot of Prabhupada's Vyasasana and read Lord Krishna fights with Banasura from the Krishna book, about how Lord Krishna's Narayana Jwara weapon cooled down Lord Shiva Jwara heat weapon, in the hope that in a similar way Prabhupada's fever would be reduced. Mr. Chugg from down the road also came, saying, Prabhupada's life on this earth is so precious that I would rather my life be taken so that he can remain to complete his work.
Okay, so all these people are life members or business, the social people there. Okay. You can see how much they all are loving Prabhupada, even though he practically didn't have much time to give to them because of his constant travel, but still, even that little bit of association with him and his disciples, see how much they are willing to sacrifice. Please continue, Prabhu.
Brij Mohan Sethi told us that he had started 24-hour Kirtan in his father's house and was praying that Prabhupada remained to see the completion of the Juhu temple. Then Prabhupada will be very happy, he said, and only then will my father and I be satisfied.
So Brij Mohan Sethi is whose son then? He's the son of our Sethi, the constructor Sethi.
Okay, yes.
So he also started 24 Kirtan in his father's house. Father's house, he has a bungalow near Juhu, if you remember. He was, that's when he was coming to see his bungalow, this whole thing happened, and he stood there with the gun in his hand and completed the construction, if you remember that incident, right? So see how much each one of them are praying for Prabhupada. It's an amazing thing, you see. This much of love, if somebody can extract from everyone, it is not possible for normal people to do that. You have to be a real tapasvi, real bhakta, real pure devotee to unknown people are praying for you, unknown people are doing all these austerities for you. How can it happen? Right? Normally, we do this for people with whom we have a blood relationship or some friends or whoever we have connection with. And when you're really pure at heart, when you're really devotee of Krishna, then you can see how nicely, and another important point that Prabhupada highlights here is that the spiritual masters, they have they're there because they are constantly engaged in spiritual activities, their body is also spiritualized. But still, then how are they having all this illness, fever, health issues, and all that coming? That is actually because the disciples are not following um, the um, the rules and the commitment, the promises that they have made to the spiritual master. That is time and again Prabhupada has said that, and it is true for even we, when we see our spiritual masters suffering and going through physical pain, they are not affected by it in the sense that they will not be worried about it. Their job is their service. They will always be focused on what to do next. But that illness is to indicate to us that because of your lack of interest in devotional service, I am suffering. And when you become old, you will also suffer like this. You will have to go through the suffering even more deeper, one more severe. That is what he actually indicates, if you actually see that. So it is very important to note down this thing very seriously. Many times, our spiritual master, as well as Mahavishnu Maharaj, also openly in the classes, he said that the in your body, if there is one thing that will indicate that your end is nearing, it is our lack of fire, digestive fire. You would say that when as we grow in old age, then naturally all other things will go slow down in their function. But that one thing which is a real indication is that if our digestion power goes down, we are not able to digest whatever we are eating. The fire of the digestion that is there, that will slowly go down. And when that goes to a point where it is not picking up, normally when you have fever and all, naturally we will have digestion power going down. But what happens is after the fever is if it is cleared, then the digestion automatically picks up, because we start eating the food and it gets digested, and when it is driven out, excreted out, then the body functions normally. Circulation of the blood, kidney works, intestine works, everything works normal. But when some problem happens in our body, due to which the digestion goes down, you may find some ways to fix it in our younger age. But in the older age, when we become older and older, at that time, when we get this indigestion problem, the fire of digestion goes down. That is called dushpachana shaya, dyspepsia, they call it. So the fire of the digestion goes down, then naturally we should reduce our eating. Because if I keep eating more and more, the body does not have the digestive capacity, then all that will remain in our body and create more trouble. It will add more fat, it will create more and more cholesterol, this, that, everything will get added up, and that will affect the other parts of the body. So this is one thing Maharaj said, that if you stop sincerely chanting, my digestion stops. He told that in one of the classes. He said, I can see from your faces whether you chant or not. I can tell you whether you are chanting is proper or not just by looking at your faces. If you're really chanting properly, you will have a blissful watermelon face. Even if you have troubles, you will not be bothered about it. You'll be more enjoying the services more and more. But if I see you with a morose face, with the anxiety in your mind and all that, that will show up on the face. That means you are not having faith in the holy names. You are not having faith in the holy names that it will fix my problems, or even whatever it is. My job is to serve the holy names properly, so Bhagavatam properly. So Maharaj would say that the moment you stop chanting, or the moment you reduce your quality of your chanting, my digestion stops. And I can say that disciples are not doing all right. Same thing here. Prabhupada also is indicating that the illness has been caused by the sinful activities of his disciples, many of whom were not strictly following the rules and regulations. I remember Radhesham Prabhu was also telling that he said at one point that we have stopped inducting more we have stopped inducting more brahmacharis now, because we don't see that same level of purity and commitment in the brahmacharis these days. The duplicity and other things have started increasing with the invention of the smartphones and all the other modern paraphernalias. There is no tapasya, there is no austerity, people are not honest, all these things are there. So all these affect the bodily, the function of our body also. So this is one very important point that Prabhupada always highlighted, that don't just pray to Krishna only when the spiritual master is not keeping well. Spiritual master is getting ill because you are not doing your devotional service properly. If you do your devotional service properly, then the spiritual master will continue with good health. So if you do it that way, that only when the spiritual master is not keeping well, I will chant sincerely, then it is again fal-based, fruitive activity it is. Fal-based activity. It should never happen that way. You always chant so that always it will be better. You eventually, due to old age and other things, they may have to go through certain things. But Prabhupada, with his kind of thing that he had, the Josh he had even at 78, 80 years, he would surpass anybody and everybody. Even for 20 years old, his disciples, he would surpass them when he was 80 years old. So, yes, Suresh Prabhuji, you were about to say something.
Prabhuji, is it so that Guru Maharaj has promised something from our side to Lord, and then we don't keep that commitment? So in between, Guru Maharaj getting some punishment like that.
Not really punishment for Guru Maharaj, Prabhu. Guru Maharaj
Punishment
is
not suffering because of that is no proper keeping the words.
no. See, spiritual master promises to Krishna only one thing, that Krishna, you please give your mercy to this soul. I will help, I will do my best to bring him to your lotus feet and get him taste for your service. That is what normally they promise. They don't promise anything else apart from that, you see. And also the relationship between Krishna and Guru is very intimate, Prabhu. It is nothing to do with say some punishment or Krishna getting unhappy with the spiritual master, etc. Krishna doesn't get upset with Arjuna, no. Krishna doesn't get upset with the gopis. So how can he get upset or anything with upset with the spiritual masters? He's very loving towards them. In fact, he is so pleased with their seva that he is willing to serve them personally. He is willing to help them in their service. He was so pleased with Prabhupada's determination to help all the suffering souls that personally he was following wherever Prabhupada was going. Prabhupada goes to US and Jagannath is following him. And every house has Gaurnita deities. And everywhere there is Rath Yatra happening. Everywhere there is Janmashtami happening. All these are because Krishna was so pleased with spiritual Prabhupada that he personally wanted to take part in all these sevas. Even now he is doing it. Right? So the promise is not broken by the Guru. The promise is broken by the disciple. You have to understand that. Okay, Prabhu. So this when this disciple becomes careless, because normally what happens, we don't take the mission of the spiritual master seriously as our life and soul. Not every disciple takes it that way. Some of them take it, others they do within their capacity. If you see, suppose somebody is having a family, say some 10 disciples are there, all of them have families. Out of that, you cannot expect all 10 of them to sacrifice everything for the sake of the spiritual master's mission, for to serve in the spiritual master's mission. Some of them would do, some of them would think, I'm not saying from their services and their devotion point of view. They are also devoted to the spiritual master. But if you see, they may not have the push or the fire to sacrifice their personal desires and ambitions to fulfill the mission of the spiritual master. You got it? Their limits will be, I want to serve the spiritual master to whatever capacity. I can give him some Lakshmi, I can give him some whatever little service I can do, all that. But their mentality will not go beyond their families. They will pray to the spiritual master that Guru Maharaj, please bless our family. Please bless my son so that he will get a good job and good girl as wife, so that their devotion will increase. Or my daughter should be married to a nice devotional family and do the service. That's fine. This is all good only. They are expecting, they are seeing all that. But at the same time, that is not the be all end all of the service of the disciple to the Guru. The disciple should serve the Guru irrespective of whether good things are happening in their family or not. And their service should not be confined only with thinking of their family alone. You got it, Prabhu? When we have
Yes.
that kind of an attitude, then the Guru Maharaj will say, okay, you have that basic thing that you want to within your family, whatever, that much mercy you will get. But actually, what I want is, I want this whole world to become Krishna conscious. And in that seva, how much are you will be able to will you be able to help in that seva? That is how the spiritual master will be asking for. And the one who is willing to put this life at stake, life full entire life at stake for the service of spiritual master, Krishna will be extremely pleased and he will give so much more facilities for him to do service. Prabhupada was one who showed us by personal example that there is no limit to the amount of sacrifice that you can do to fulfill the mission of the spiritual, to assist in the mission of the spiritual master. You could anything and everything. Whatever I have, my life here, my friends, my family, my children, my job, my wealth, everything, I offer it in your. What is that? He says, na, Arpilu tuve pade Nanda Kishore. Bhakti Thakur says in that bhajan, no? You may give your mercy. Manasa deho geho jo kishumo, right? In that, he is telling this very nicely that whatever wealth, facilities, children, friends, family, wife, everything I will offer at your lotus feet for your service. Like that, he say. So it depends on the level of commitment of the disciple. Prabhu. To that extent, we will be able to extract that mercy. And a spiritual master always looks for that kind of a disciple who can assist in that mission, because it's not an ordinary mission. Say, um, say Narendra Modi says that in 15 years, 20 years, India will become #1 economy. He will do anything and everything possible to get that done. But by India becoming #1 economy, is that going to solve all the problem in this world? Even if India becomes #1 in their economy, still Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi will be there. Right? You cannot solve that problem. You can solve this problem. You may become the superpower also, who knows? But then, even if now America is and China are superpowers, there also people are dying. There also people died of corona, even more than India, frankly, for that matter. Right? So it's important to understand that. So the mission that the spiritual master has taken is not limited to 15 years, 20 years time frame. He's not going to say that, I want to make this Hare Krishna movement as a #1 movement in the in the whole world. That is not his aim. His aim is to bring as many souls as possible to the lotus feet of Krishna, and somehow or other let them get the taste for devotional service. And for that, he is willing to do anything and everything possible. Right? Whatever it takes to do that, he will do. And it's not limited by time. It's a lifelong journey. It's many lifetimes journey. So all of us, as we come in that parampara, we all have to push it forward to help in that mission of all our acharyas. Does it help, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Hemnath Prabhu, you have raised your hand for a while. Gaurav Prabhu, after Hemnath Prabhu, you can share your tales. Yes, Hemnath Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu. So we have then two types of disciples who think that Guru is one among my many priorities, and the other type of disciples who think that he is the topmost priority.
He is the only priority. Yeah.
He is the only priority. Yeah. Is it so, Prabhu? Yeah.
Very nicely put, Prabhu. That is how it is. Those who consider Guru among one of the priorities are also devotees only, They are also nice disciples because they do keep that in their mind. But because distractions and so many other things going on here and there, they might not be able to fulfill things on time.
Yes.
So
Well, puts it, we are going for a war and not a small thing.
yeah,
War at
yeah.
Krishna.
So I remember Indradivna Maharaja saying this one thing, that Guru's Agnya may be delayed but not denied. He said that Guru is giving some order to us, we may not be able to execute it immediately. Like say, for example, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told Prabhupada that you have to take sannyas, you have to preach in English. He told that in the year 1932 or something when he was initiated. But Prabhupada had this fire going on in his heart to fulfill that order like that. But he couldn't start on it until he left his family and took to Vanaprastha and whatever, right? And the time came when it had to happen and the whole world came to know about it. But it it was probably, you'll say it was a delayed a bit if you see that way from your perspective. But whatever he did it to the best of his ability. And it was so much more successful, right? So we should not deny or we should not refuse following the Guru's order. We may, maybe it may be delayed by a little bit, but before this lifetime we have to complete. It is one thing which um, I heard from Indradivna Maharaj, that is Prabhupada telling some the disciples. Hope that helps, Prabhu. Nicely put him, Nath Prabhu, that point. Thank you for that. And Gaurav Prabhu, you said raise your hand. Sorry.
Yes, Prabhu. Just one point. I mean, of what you were saying now is like,
Huh.
how can we keep that fire ignited within us also, Prabhu? That you mentioned there are two types of disciple. One who takes Guru's order as life and soul, and Prabhupada also did that. So how should we keep that for ourselves? I mean, we have that fire in us also, Prabhu.
By always discussing and remembering about the fire of the spiritual master, how they are doing it, how Prabhupada is doing it, how the Sadgoswamis they were doing it, how each of the disciples in the parampara, how they did it. For them, that is their only priority. Somewhere I read, Prabhu, it is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think, or Bhagavatam. Prabhupada writes that if the disciple is not able to fulfill the order of the spiritual master, he better leave his body. There's no point living in this world if you cannot fulfill the, or at least attempt to fulfill the order of the spiritual master. So I will share that quote. So I said, it is in Bhagavatam only, I think, the 4th canto, 28th chapter, somewhere it is there. I will find it out, exact place where he says that.
And
So
Prabhu,
it's better it is better for the disciple to die along with the spiritual master if he cannot fulfill the orders of the spiritual. Something like that he says. Yes, Prabhu.
and I think one place Prabhupada also said that most of the followers are going to go to up to Swargaloka only. They will not be able to go ahead.
Yeah, because
So-
we put ourselves on a pedestal, no, think that I am in Krishna, I am an Hare Krishna movement, I will go to. This is everywhere they will go to the. This is one thing that this astrologers in India also do these things, By default, they will see you have a tilak and kantimala without looking at. They don't know how to read the horoscope also. Immediately they will say this is your last life. Many devotees keep telling that and roaming about. To make this the last life is not a very easy joke. We think that even if I am unconscious, devotees around will be there, they will be chanting. Who knows, you will be dying and end up in some accident or something where in Corona, how people died, they were not even last final rites could also not happen for their thing. So much there. How much sinful it is, or how much of a pathetic situation it is. So we have all these dreams and imagination that I will be in the bed, people will be surrounding me, chanting Hare Krishna, and the like for Tukaram, the Garud came and took took him along with him. We have to understand, Tukaram was not in the ICU when he was leaving the body. He was dancing. He was dancing and chanting in the kirtans with all the other kirtaniyas. The tree is still there in our Dehu now.
Yes,
Such a nice place, really. And you can see how he was dancing, and he was the one who saw Krishna coming. Krishna was personally coming in Garuda to take him. I think that is where Sundarate Dhyana Ube Vitavari, Tulasi Mala, Gale Tulasi Mala, Vaijayanti, Kaustubamani, Kante Kaustubamani, Virajita. He sings that he's seeing the Lord and is describing him. That was the last Abang he sang, I think. So such a sweet one. And he's seeing the Lord and he's describing him how he appears. When we is lying down, we will be only seeing Yamdutas and like this, all this, what is that, our near-death experience, out-of-body experience, and all the people share, no? There's one devotee, Mataji, only shared the experience of her father, who is not a devotee, but he was that night, he saw all these very gory looking persons with very fearsome dogs and all. They came and they were about to take his life, but somehow Prabhupada's picture was next to him. The Mataji had kept Prabhupada's picture next to him, and they told him that they refrained from taking his life that night. They told him that because of this old man, you are saved. Better you do your thing properly, chanting properly, and then he was not a devotee. He doesn't know anything about Yamdutas and all. He's a foreigner also. He has not studied any of our Garuda Purana or all this, all those things. Nothing he has read. But he saw this next day. Somehow he was back to life. He explained exactly how those people looked like, and that was the same description as how you see in the Ajamila pastime. And then he showed this old man only. They showed. He didn't know who was Prabhupada also. Mataji had left that Prabhupada's picture there by the bedside, and it is Prabhupada's picture that protected him also. And after that, he took to chanting seriously, and he was saved, and he took it up. So we don't know whether we will see those gory figures or Krishna. We have to do lifelong devotion like Tukaram. Then we may see that whatever we will be able to see him. So it's very interesting. Yes, sorry, Suresh Prabhuji, you are going to say something.
Prabhuji, the sad part is that he invited his wife and so many, anybody who was ready to come with him, he was ready to take along with him. But the unfortunate thing, no one was ready. Even now, Prabhuji, if after the meeting, if Tukaram comes and sends that Viman, we are not prepared.
No, we would not want to. We would say, will it take me to America? It will take me to Australia. That is what we will ask. We will not ask whether it will take us to Golokundavan. That's how it is. So even this other nice pastime stories there also, that that Atmadeva, no, whose sons are Gokarna and Tundukari. Gokarna is a very pure devotee, but it was mixture of, they were born with a mixture of, he was born with a mixture of that cow and the man. So he had that cow's kind of a ear, but then rest of the body is all normal like a human, this thing. So that's why his name is Gokarna. But he's a pure devotee. He's a son of Atmadeva. This Atmadeva's another wife, that is her son is Dundukari. This Dundukari is the most abominable person. He did everything under the sky, whatever is sinful. He did prostitution, he did cheating, looting, everything he did under the sky. So what happened? The Dundukari was this prostitutes. They all gathered together and put fire on him. They burnt him alive. So because he was burnt alive, his ghost was still there. His body is burnt, but the subtle body is going around. And this our Gokarna is the brother of Dundukari, because they are all like the co-wife's stepmother, like that, brothers like Dhruva and the Utama kind of. So Gokarna goes to even Gaya and he tries to make this Atma Shanti, but he is not able to do that. All the Pratyajna, the Sajna, that everything he did, nothing worked. So finally, he came and he stopped Surya Bhagavan and he asked, by his Tapobal, he stopped Surya Bhagavan and he asked, I want some solution for this problem. Then Surya Bhagavan said, you do one thing, for 7 days you do Bhagavad Saptaha. You bring some nice pure devotee to speak Bhagavatam and you hear Bhagavatam. Then by the power of Bhagavatam, this Dundukari will get liberation. He will get the body, spiritual body. Now then he gathered, announced in all the villagers, and they all came, they sat under a tree, and this devotee, they started, I think devotee started, or Gokarna himself was doing Bhagavatam, I don't know, nothing was doing.
Gokarna himself.
Gokarna himself was doing, yes, sorry, thanks for that. So he himself was reciting Bhagavatam and the villagers were all sitting and listening. This Dundukari, because he's in the ghost body, he has to keep on moving here and there. So what happened? He went and sat inside the bamboo. And that bamboo has those rings, no? After each step, there's a ring, then ring like that. So they are the blocking part. So he sat inside the small portion of that bamboo, and he was listening very attentively, because now he knew that this is the only opportunity for him to go back to Godhead. Now all the other villages were also there. Every day this thing will break and he will go more up above and above that the bamboo. So 7 days Katha is over. Then finally he broke open from that thing, and one Viman came. That one Viman came from Vaikunta to take this Dundukari. Now Gokarna, who was doing the Bhagavatam, he was surprised. Everybody was listening, but why only one Viman? All of them should have got Viman. So at that time, who is telling this answer? I think it is Surya Bhagavan only, I think, is responding to him that everybody was listening. Vishnu Dutas, yes, sorry. Vishnu Dutas are responding to him that everybody was listening, but he is the only one who listened with so much attention that he was convinced that except this, no other process will work. Ushanti na anyata. We did yesterday, no? There is no other way other than this, to be liberated from this material body and attain spiritual body. So he said that Dundukari is the only one who listened with that much attention. That's why he sent only one chariot. If all of them were listening with that same attention, then all of them would have gone to Vaikuntha. So that is the same thing like what they're telling, similar to that example of Tukaram thing, no? So even after listening to the Krishna Katha so much, still our Vairagya is not so easy. It's not easy to get that Vairagya. Just I was reminded of that story also. Sorry, we took some time on these nice discussions, but it was nice, enriching ones. So can we go further? Yes, we are talking about Brijmohan Sethi, now Dr. and Mrs. Singhal. Who was reading? Was that Suresh Prabhu?
I was reading. Prabhu.
Yes, Rajesh Prabhu. Yes, Rajesh Prabhu, please continue.
Dr. and Mrs. Singhal were collecting money door to door to purchase dhotis and kurtas for the devotees. They too came, and Mrs. Singhal recounted how kind Prabhupada had been to her in London, taking care of her in all respects. Friends and neighbors were constantly inquiring about Prabhupada's health and remembering his kindness upon them.
See, Prabhupada is taking care of people who travel to outside the country also. He just gives a connection of the devotees there. My disciple is there, he will take care of you. You come here, you will get some accommodation to stay. Even in those beginning days where there was not much facilities, still that hospitality is there. That's what we should appreciate. You see, it's hospitality is from the heart. It doesn't need to have all the big opulence and facilities. Even if you are really, in a humble place also, you can stay peacefully. Very nice to think. Wherever we go, that is the most important thing. Nobody cares for, oh, you have big nice bed, this, that, so facilities, you give me 7 course meal, nothing like that. Just some sweet words, loving words, nice respectful approach in talking. And even the little time is there, you have some little time to take out and discuss something from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, or about Prabhupada, anything that devotional service. Those things only enrich our relationship. Right? I just remembered, when we came to Pune, we had such a nice time at Suresh Prabhu's place, isn't it, Gaurav Prabhu? Mataji made such delicious prasadam, and that puran podi that she made, it was a hit till the next day also, isn't it? Uh,
Yes,
I
Prabhu.
wish Mataji makes more and gives it to you more and more. Luckily, I am so happy that my fever came after these programs. If I had got in the beginning itself, I would not have got a chance to taste all this prasadam at either your home or Suresh Prabhu's home or
I'm
Ram Vilas Prabhu's home or anywhere else I went. It was all such nice prasadam. Only the last 2 days I had to do that austerity. Otherwise, it was all so rich and opulent thing.
I was remembering one devotee's word. Even Indra will be envious of the plate that we had.
Yeah. Yeah. So only thing is we made a mistake, Prabhu. We went in the evening. We should have gone.
Yes,
Next time is lunch only. You tell Mataji that next
that
time
too
is
with
lunch
fasting.
only.
That too with fasting.
Yeah, and with fasting. We will do on a day when we have some half a day fasting or something, that day will come. And that's our plan for the next time.
I've specifically told Prabhuji not to forget me.
Yeah, and Puran Podi.
I would like
See
to
how
invite
nice
entire
this.
group, Prabhu.
Yeah,
I would like
yeah.
to invite entire group now.
Yeah,
No.
all the vicharis should go, vicharis should become sancharis for some time. And we should go and we should enjoy the opulent prasadam everywhere. See, the reason we are talking about this is because that is loving exchange, right? You don't have to have big opulent this thing, etc., etc. Loving exchange. That day, Ramvilas Prabhu Mataji was very busy though, so I just went there and they couldn't make a prasadam at home. So immediately he took me to Govindas. We had an opulent prasadam there. And we had a very nice thing Siddh had there, and we had nice prasadam there. So nothing lacks in devotees. That's why Yoga Kshema Mahamyam Krishna says. I preserve what you have. I carry what you have and preserve what you lack. That he says. So that is the whole idea here. Okay. So please, sorry, Rajesh Prabhu, we are stopping every 2 minutes of your talk, of your reading. Please continue.
On August 28th, I wrote Prabhupada. I do not really know what to write on account of your health. However, I would like to invite your divine grace to come to Hare Krishna land as soon as you feel a little better, because the climate here is mild and the atmosphere relaxing. Shankha Prabhu has covered the entire back corner near your quarters with a fruit orchard, including banana, papaya, and guava trees. And we have built a little place where the cows can graze. So the view from your balcony may be very pleasing. Of course, Hare Krishna land is yours.
Right now, where is Prabhupada? Because this is the Giriraj Maharaj writing, and he's inviting him to come to Hare Krishna land, which means
In
Prabhupada is
Vrindavan.
not there yet. Yes. Thank you for following it closely. He went to Vrindavan and there only he got ill. So he's staying there only. Please continue, Prabhu.
Of course, Hare Krishna land is yours, and you are always free to come and go whenever you desire. but we just wanted your divine grace to know that we are eager to serve you here. On September 16, I wrote, your new accommodations at Hare Krishna land are nearing completion, and as soon as they are ready, I shall inform you. I added, we understand that in order to spread this movement to the maximum number of people, we must have the most intelligent and expert organization. We have vastly expanded our propaganda and organizational activities from the office in the Chand Society, and we very urgently require the large room in which the unmarried ladies are staying. Therefore, we request permission from your divine grace to move your belongings from your old flat on Hare Krishna land into your new block. Then the ladies can shift from the office to your old flat, and we can use the additional room for organizational work in the office.
See,
Yes.
you see how nice the disciples are. They're asking permission for each and every small thing also. This is real guru-disciple relationship. You see, once when one of our senior devotees asked Maharaj, Mahavishnu Maharaj, that to what level we should be obedient to you as a disciple, Maharaj. Maharaj said, if you to take your next breath, you have to ask my permission. That is the real obedience. If I don't give you permission, you should not breathe. That's what it means. So that is the level of obedience that Krishna expects from us to our Guru. Right? We can compare and see where we are in our level of obedience, our level of following the orders of the spiritual. Shivam Prabhu, you raise your hand.
Yes, Prabhu. Just Prabhuji, so like you mentioned, like we should ask like each and all changes. But I heard also like the Krishna consciousness is a common sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, how we can relate this? And then I know
Very good
sometimes
question,
we might
Prabhu.
see
Very good
practi-
question. Very good
Yeah.
question, actually. When some devotees, what they were do, I mean, you use the word common sense very nicely. When Prabhupada was around, he used to say that, when you offer Bhoga, first you have to offer to the spiritual master, and then he will offer to Krishna and all the previous acharyas and all that. So he was in Los Angeles taking class, and devotees from New York will do the offering to the picture of Prabhupada, and they will call in the middle of the class and they will say, Prabhupada, we offered it. Did it come to you? Did you take it? Bhoga. You see?
Yes,
Prabhupada would
Prabhuji.
say, man, you should have some common sense that you should have the faith that when it is offered, it is taken already. Why you be calling and asking? That, no, Prabhupada, we wanted to know whether you have taken, you liked it or not. See, if I am physically present there, then you can ask me. If I'm not there, you accept that, yes, I've accepted it. You should do it with loving this thing. So the thing is, common sense is not so uncommon, we say, right? Common sense is very uncommon, we say, right? So we should see for which all things we should go to the Guru, for which all things we should follow the principles. Because Guru will not have time to do every minute things that you do. In the beginning days, he may help a little bit, but it does not mean that you have to go. Then when he says this, that without my permission you should not even you should not even breathe. It means that level of obedience to which you should think. But at the same time, when you are very, very close to your Guru, then from the heart you will get the inspiration. How Prabhupada only spent some little time with his Guru, but because he was so much connected with his Guru at a spiritual level, that he could get the instructions from the heart, as a Chaitya Guru, spiritual master was giving, because he was so 100% surrendered to him, Prabhu. So that surrender is more important to hear the message of the super soul and spiritual master. Both are same only, frankly speaking. So that instruction, if for us to hear, we have to be 100% surrendered to him. We should not have any, when you say 100% surrendered, we should not have even iota of doubt that my Guru Maharaj is constantly watching me over. his blessings are always there with me. I have to be sincerely surrendered to him. Then everything will automatically flow. It is not that you need to have a long time of association with the spiritual. Not everybody will get that opportunity. With Prabhupada, how many of his disciples got the opportunity to personally spend time with him? But you see, so many of them are great gem of disciples. Right? It's not that you have to physically be there, thing, and with the guru, and that is when it's successful. No? As long as in spirits you are connected with the spiritual master, then the Chaitya Guru, he will inspire us with all the services. Naturally, you will be confident. And for that, we have to start with the basic things first. What we do, we don't do the chanting properly. We don't do the reading properly. We don't do the program, Mangalarti or all the other things properly, Seva properly. But then we directly get into, oh, my Guru Maharaj has not given me any personal instruction. What personal instruction? That's what Jayapataka Maharaj said. What personal instruction? All the instructions we give in the lecture, they are all personal instructions. Be good, do good to others, give Krishna consciousness as much as possible to others. You see Krishna in that. You read Prabhupada's books regularly, seriously. How many of us follow that properly? That one instruction, chanting here and there, some courtesy rounds we do and we get it done. But reading book, our hand is not going to the books at all. It's not even opening the book. So there itself we lose. There itself we don't follow the instruction of the spiritual master properly. Then when the generic instructions we don't follow, how can we ask for specific instructions? Right? Only when we learn ABCD, then we can go to the words, then to the statements, then to the paragraphs and books and so on. That is very important. How much are we attracted to? That quote that Gaurav Prabhu shared yesterday from Giriraj Maharaj, so amazing it was. He's waiting, Prabhupada is waiting. Anytime you can open him and read. How amazing realization it is, isn't it? We think that, oh, Bhagavatam is there. I will just take whenever I want and read. No, Prabhupada is right there in the form of his words. And there is no, now behind the deities are there, or all our home deities are there, we will put them to rest and then we can't see them anymore. But Bhagavatam, no rest. 24 hours is available. Bhagavad Gita, 24 hours is available in that form. So we don't realize how much mercy Prabhupada has showered upon us. Imagine, like in other temples, if you go to any of the South Indian temples, I don't know about many of the North Indian temples also, but most of the South India Sri Vaishnava temples, for example, if you go, when you go there, when our Hare Krishna people, devotees, they go and chant, no? Those pujaris will be all alone there. They will not have any major thing. There are many temples like that. Only a few temples are overcrowded, like Tirupati, Srirangam, etc. There are many temples in the southern this thing side where they are very remote. Nobody will be there. And our devotees will go in groups and they will do nice kirtans. And those pujaris, many times I've seen, even when I was there with some devotees, we used to request us, please stand here and chant for some more time. We don't get to hear this kirtana at all here for a long time. We just come here, do the puja, and one or two devotees come. They just come, say pranams, put some little 1 rupee, 10 rupee in the hundi, and they go away. We just have to give some little prasad. That's all we do. So they are hankering for these things, you know. So in all these temples also, that's what happening. Many of the old temples, because Prabhupada has arranged for this lively morning programs and everything. So our temples are flourishing. It's live. It's live. Our temples are live. In all the temples, though the deities are there, it's very difficult for them to maintain also. See. So that is where we have to see the mercy of the spiritual master, that follow the because they are not doing reading regularly. They are not, they don't have the process of chanting certain things regularly. They do chant Vishnu Sahasranama, some of their gurus thing, but the way Ramanujacharya was preaching, not everybody is preaching. Very few acharyas, pravachakas are there. Even they are also inspired by Prabhupada. In all the sampradayas, they are all inspired by Prabhupada to do pravachanas. Before that, before Prabhupada, nobody was doing pravachana. Very few Harikatha, Kalakshepam will happen in the villages and all that anybody would do. But properly coming in the Sampradaya, reading the scriptures, and not many are doing. See. So I hope that helps, Shivam Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this explanation.
Okay, Prabhu. Nice questions. So let's continue further.
Does anyone else want to read?
Yeah.
Prabhu's
Yeah, I was
Mataji?
going to say that. Yeah. So Prabhupada replies, and you can move my things into the new quarters. How much they have thought over that, with the Matajis, they need some place to stay and all that. Okay. So who would like to start from the next paragraph in September?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Please, Prabhu. We have about 5-10 minutes, so we'll continue and stop there, wherever you can. Then,
Yes, Prabhupada replied, you can move my things into the new quarters. In September, Orient Longman Publishers approached me to contribute a chapter about Srila Prabhupada for a book entitled Gurus, Godmen and Good People. The book, to be edited by Khushwant Singh, would have one chapter for each person, and the publishers wanted a devotee of each to write a chapter about his or her guru. I first sent my preliminary draft to Prabhupada, then wrote, if your divine grace has any suggestions or changes you would like to make in the chapter, or any particular message you would like included, you can inform me and I shall do the needful.
Now, if any of you remember, this Khushwant Singh is one of those notorious writer. Prabhupada also,
called him a demon.
called him a demon. And he just ignored him because he said this one is of no use. There's no point. Unlike Nair, with whom he had a real good fight, this Khushwant Singh and all is not worthy of Prabhupada's attention also. But you see, that same Khushwant Singh is writing something, Gurus, Godmen and Good People. But that guy is going to edit it. But in that, Prabhupada's article about Prabhupada is coming. So one of the things which I have seen, Prabhu's Mataji's, is that for pure devotees or for those who are actually serious devotees, the popularity of the guru is not a matter. But for general mass of people, they get attracted to anybody who is popular. They're not, initially, they don't worry about purity. Anywhere there is popularity, anywhere there is a lot of people gathering, a lot of following is there, naturally they will get attracted. So, same like the Prabhupada also, initially when he was not having so many disciples, these people just ignored him. But you see at a later point, the same people who ignored, they took note of Prabhupada and they started appreciating him. So that popularity has its incentive, but that is not the only thing. That is not the only thing that will take us in devotional service. It may bring you to bring the horse to the water, but you have to drink the water yourself. So initially, you may not know about the purity of the person, but because how many followers are there, naturally you would want to go and see what's happening there. That's out of curiosity. See, but that is again the spiritual master's goal is not that. That's why Nadanam na Janam na Sundarim Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clearly says that. But because of your purity, Krishna will build that the base for the popularity. To so much so that even after you leave the body, your popularity will keep growing. That's what is happening. See, after 1,000 years also we are talking about Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya. Now, after so many years, we are still talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Prabhupada and all the Acharyas, right? So that is how it transcends the limits of time, purity, you know. So popularity is only a beginning thing that will bring you to certain things. And then after that, you will start understanding, no, this is not the ultimate thing. There are many more things to understand. Yes, Suresh Prabhuji, yes, you raise your hand.
Prabhuji, there are 12 gurus he has written that book about, and that 10th is our Prabhupada. And another point is that the cover photo has our devotee dancing on the top of it. So that
you mean this book, Gurus, Godmen and Good People?
Yes, I have shared the book covering in our group. You can
Oh,
see.
that's the book. Okay, that's the one that you shared. Okay. Very interesting, Prabhu. So nice of you. This guy, this rascal Khushwant Singh, he has written this book, Gurus, Godmen, Good People. Now he's talking about Satsai Baba, Rajneesh, Anandamay, Nirahankaris, all these people. And 10th chapter is Swami Prabhupada. And Mother Teresa also is included. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing this, Prabhu. Such a nice thing. Please continue.
One more thing, Prabhu, I recollect.
Yes, Prabhu.
One devotee was sharing is like when Prabhupada was about to go to US, he had approached all the newspapers and publishing house to actually publish something that I mean
about him,
going to
a
US
biodata
and
about him. Yes.
Yeah, biodata about him. Then nobody actually
Nobody
agreed.
was interested.
And then
But then after he became
nobody was-
famous, all the reporters and everybody was thronging him to get one bit of interview from him,
Yes.
right? And in both cases, if you see, Prabhupada was Samadarshi. He was not grudging that, see, those days you didn't pay attention to me. Now you are running behind me. He never felt like that. Because for him, popularity is also a tool to be used in Krishna's service. That's all. He never identified himself with that popularity. That is the beauty of. He never either identified himself with the purity also. He never identified himself with the popularity also. That is why Krishna gave him both. Please continue, Prabhu.
Brahmananda replied on his behalf, regarding your letter dated September 27, 1974, Srila Prabhupada requests the following to be included in the article for holy men of India. It should be very nicely written that so far as cultural contribution to the world is concerned, Srila Prabhupada stands first above all other Indian holy men. Many have gone to the West and abroad. Many have gone to the West and abroad, but no one has done what Srila Prabhupada has done. He has completely brought the Vedic culture to the West, and they are following completely. He has transplanted it. This simile of transplanting should be elaborated. As we transplant a tulsi seedling, and then it becomes full-grown plant, so Prabhupada has made the Vedic culture flourish all over the world without harming or charging anything. When transplanting, you have to be very careful with the seedling. If you harm it even slightly, it will not grow again. Similarly, Prabhupada has not superficially transplanted the Vedic culture. Please send the final draft. I hope this meet you in good health. Eventually, the book was published with my chapter about Prabhupada and a picture of his disciples singing and dancing on Harinam Sankirtan in central Bombay on the cover.
In that cover, you can see in the our group, Prabhupada has shared, sorry, Suresh Prabhu has shared it. So we'll stop here. The scene is going to change a bit more. You'll hear from Shrutakirti Prabhu and others also. Probably we will do this Krishna willing tomorrow, day after Wednesday. We'll have to do Narad Muni. We have to do the 1540 a bit more in depth, Prabhus and Matajis. So Wednesday evening we'll do that. Krishna willing, we will do it the next session either Tuesday or Thursday. One of these days. Most probably Tuesday would be better, I guess. I will see how things go and I will keep you informed. Any comments, questions, reflections, Prabhus, Matajis from what you have read till now? Anybody? Today, Kamalni Mataji didn't get a chance to read. He always looks forward to read. Right?
Sorry, Mataji.
No. Actually, our discussions have become too deeper, so we are not able to read more than 1 or 2 pages these days. So we should tell Giriraj Maharaj, please reduce the speed of your writing, releasing the next books. This book itself will take another 2 years to complete. So we have 2 more books, Watering the Seed, then Dancing with Elephants, all these different books are there, right? So,
Prabhuji,
nice.
Giriraj Maharaj has shown how a devotee should surrender to his superior master.
Yeah, really, Prabhu.
During every stage, we could feel that
Feel
the
the
amount of
love that
surrender is perfect. That one a disciple should surrender like Guru Giriraj Maharaj.
Yeah.
He's showing his self to us.
Really, Prabhu, really, because I'm amazed at the level of details he gets into after 50 years of time with Prabhu. It's exactly 50 years, 73, 72, 73, now it is 2023, 24, right? So it's more than 50 years actually. And his details are so deep. Remembering, for us, reading this book so with slowly, we are not able to remember the incidents from where it is. Suddenly he brings one name, Dr. Singhal, Matre. We struggle to map that name to the person, isn't it? So even if you read it 3-4 times only, you can somehow get a sense of who all he's talking about. For him to have all these people in his mind wired to the incidents and the instructions, it's humanly impossible. I can imagine if he had written it in 73, 74 or 70 or even up to 80 in 1980, but 2024 is writing, and half of the devotees are gone already. As Rishi Prabhu is saying, they are not in present. Many of them have passed away. But still, to keep that thing, so much of research. So that's why I am really thankful to each one of the Prabhupada disciples who are giving us this nectarian treasure. Thank you.
They're all
Prabhu.
empowered souls, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, sorry.
They're all empowered souls.
Empowered, completely empowered souls. Really. Thank you. Okay, so stop here. Krishna willing, we will continue.